Well, good morning. I'm just in the shop this morning. I'm not going to do chores this morning. Carmen's actually going to do chores. She's home today. I'm just going to make sure all the stuff is ready for her. There's no work without work. It's bloody cold again this morning. It's I think minus 18 right now. It was supposed to be about minus 20, so that's close enough. Close enough for me anyways. And windy. So yesterday we got 6 inches of snow during the day. The night before we got another 6 inches. So it's piled right up high, and now it's windy. So I would imagine when I get home this evening after work, there's probably going to be yay high snow drifts. So hopefully not, but you never know. We'll deal with whatever cards were dealt, I guess. Anyways, there was a question came up yesterday in regards to starting your homestead and still being able to generate revenue, or at least make a profit, not lose your ass while you're trying to live out your dream. And so a couple pieces of advice for how you do that. First off, value your time. Time is the most valuable thing you could ever have, because it's completely fine. Even though it's infinite, it's finite to each of us, right? There's only a certain amount of hours in the day, and there's only so many hours that you have available, because you're probably going to have to work, and while you're setting up. You can't just jump into a venture and then quit your job, and it doesn't work like that. The first few years are going to be pretty tough, and especially so if you don't value your time and use it, strategically. The second thing is the value of any product you may or may not have, like either you're buying or you're selling. So you don't want to pay too much for stuff. If you're looking for a thing, try to wait for it to come on sale so you don't, paying through the nose for it. And if you're selling a thing, again, have an idea of what its actual value would be if you were to sell that commercially, and then throw that equation out the window. Because, just because you can go down to the grocery store and get eggs for $2 a dozen doesn't mean that's what you should sell your eggs for, right? You're raising an entirely different product under an entirely different situation, circumstances, environment, everything. That doesn't mean you're going to want to charge $18 a dozen for your sunshine raised eggs, but it does mean that you have to market whatever you're selling in such a way that people are okay with paying a little bit more, because they understand that the chicken isn't kept in a shoebox for its entire life. So here's the thing with valuing your time. Everybody wants to have the hobby farm that looks like Noah's Ark, right? You've got chickens, ducks, geese, donkeys, all the critters, right? But keep in mind that each one of those processes requires different inputs. So they're going to need different living quarters. They're going to need different feed requirements. Each one of these things is going to have a certain time block allotted to providing that care for that animal. So as I mentioned the other day in a video about chickens, if you're feeding 5, you might as well feed 25. And if you're feeding 25, you might as well feed 100. And the reason I can say that is because if I'm just packing a pail of grain out, it's no issue to pack 2 pails at once and do the same thing. Just upscale it on a small scale. But now if I've got chickens and I've got pigs, well, now I got to pack a pail to the chickens, and then I got to pack a pail to a separate pen to the pigs. So now it's doubled my workload without even really thinking too much about it. And don't get me wrong, diversity is very important, especially on the homestead. If you want to have a sustainable income cash flow throughout the year, you're going to need to be diverse. Because if one thing, say a weasel comes into the chicken house and cleans you out, or a fox or something like that, then you've still got the pigs, or you've still got your, llamas, or whatever you've got, right? But, again, just keep in mind that multiple different processes require multiple different inputs, and each one of them takes a block of your time. And especially if you're in your early years with the homestead, how much of that time do you really have? Because many of us are actually working full-time or part-time to sustain, to have the income in order to afford the homestead that we're trying to build. So how we started out, we were living. Actually, the shop wasn't even built yet. We were living in the camper, in the field, we were roughing it for sure. And then I saw an ad on Kijiji, and it was for these 5 sheep up in Fairview, and I thought, oh yeah, we should get sheep. So texted the wife, and she's, I wouldn't say she gave me permission. She just said, I'm surprised you haven't done it already. So I just immediately took that as permission, hooked onto the horse trailer, and we went to Fairview to pick up these sheep. And so we had 5 of them originally. One died. It ate too much and got bloat and died. That was pretty sad, but that was, you know, indicative of experience, right? And then we got some chickens. We got some chickens that were older than dirt, and they were laying, like 7 of them were laying like 2 eggs a day at best. Anyways, so finally realized, okay, we like having chickens, but we need to make this whole chicken thing profitable. So we got a bunch of chicks, raised them to maturity, and then we started actually selling the eggs. We sold some of the sheep, some of the younger ones for lamb, for meat. And then the following year, we bought more laying hens. We bought, I think, 5 more sheep. Yeah, 8 more sheep. We bought 8 more sheep, and then I sold 3 pretty much right away. We had 3 big Suffolks that came in, and I was pretty excited about that until I realized how much they ate. And oh my goodness, they were going to eat us out of house and home. And it was just coming into winter, and a Suffolk ewe can destroy a round bale in a matter of days, and that was never good, because that's, you know, winter feed is basically all your profit just going out the window, right? Anyway, so we got rid of those 3 and just started breeding our own. And so this year, well, last year and this year actually, we were able to turn a profit off of our lamb crops. And right now with our chicken houses, we're pushing about 8,000 eggs a year coming out of the chicken house, and we're marketing those at $4 a dozen. So they're not crazy expensive by any means. We're able to buy feed in bulk. We get this all from Bloom Enterprises, so that helps keep our costs low, as opposed to buying commercial feed from, say, PV Mart or something like that, that's $12 to $18 a bag. Anyways, I gotta head off to work here now. I got a big day. Yeah, that's true. We're not sustainable enough that I don't have to work by any means. Both Carmen and I work full time and still manage to deal with this nonsense. So I hope you have a fantastic day. You're able to control your cost and control your time, and we'll see you later.